Today we will be learning how to initialize a dictionary with keys in Python. Now let's try to understand this question with the help of an example. Let's say that we have been given a list which consists of employee IDs of several employees. So as you can see that EMP underscore ID represents the list consisting of numerous employee IDs as elements. Now, our task is to create a dictionary such that each key in the dictionary will represent an item present within this given list, such that each key will be associated with the none value. So, that essentially means that we want to create or initialize the dictionary only with keys. So, without further delay, let us have a look at the different approaches that will help us to solve this question. Now, the first approach to solve this question is to simply use a for loop, wherein we will be using the for loop to iterate across all the elements in the given list and then assign those elements as keys within the dictionary and associate none values to each key. Now, let's visualize this with the help of our code. Let's say that this is the given list. So emp underscore ID is the given list, and it consists of three given elements or three given employee IDs. And these IDs have to be assigned as keys within the dictionary. So to initialize the dictionary, let us first create an empty dictionary and let's name it record. And this is going to be the dictionary wherein we will be assigning the keys. Now let's use a for loop for I in emp underscore ID. So we are simply iterating across all the elements in the given list employee ID. Now we will be using this counter variable I to assign key value pairs within the dictionary record. And to do that, all we have to do is use record and then use the square bracket notation. And within this, we will pass I. So this means in each iteration, we are passing the elements present within this list, employee ID, one by one. And with this, we have to associate a value pair, which is going to be none. And that's it. Finally, when we come out of the iteration, we simply go ahead and print record, which is the dictionary that will be initialized with keys as the elements present within this list, employee underscore ID. So let's execute this and let's find out if this works or not. And there we go. As you can see that we have a dictionary consisting of keys as the elements of this list employee ID. So as you can see that we have three keys within this dictionary and each key is associated with none value. So this is how you can simply use a for loop to initialize a dictionary with only keys. Well, though this solution serves the purpose, but it is not the best fit solution to our given question. The best and the most Pythonic way to solve the given problem is to use a dictionary method known as fromkeys to assign keys from the given list into a dictionary. So let's understand what the fromkeys method does. So fromkeys is a dictionary method that returns a dictionary based on specified keys and specified values passed within it as parameters. So let's try to understand this with the help of an example. For now, let's say that we have been given a list li which has the following elements: key 1, then we have key 2, and then finally we have key 3. Now let's say that we want to assign these elements or these items present within this list li as keys of a dictionary. So we can do that with the help of the fromkeys dictionary method. So all you have to do is go ahead, create a dictionary D using the fromkeys method. So you have to use the dictionary constructor dict dot fromkeys. And within this, you have to pass couple of parameters. The first parameter will represent each key which will be taken from an iterable, and that iterable in this case is li, or the list that has been given to us. So li will be the first parameter. And now the second parameter is optional. So let's say that we want to associate a certain value to each key. So in this case, let us associate the value 0 to each key of this dictionary. So we simply have to pass 0 as the second parameter. Now let's print D and let's see what happens. Let's execute this code. And there we go. As you can see that we have each key associated with the value 0. Now, as I mentioned that this second parameter wherein we pass the value 0 is optional. So when you do not pass any value, then by default, this is going to be none. So let's go ahead and remove 0 and let's simply pass the first parameter, which is li. And now let's see what are the values that will get assigned to each key in this list li. There we go. As you can see that each key has been assigned the value none. So we already have our solution now. So all we need to do now is instead of passing li, let's pass employee ID within this dictionary method from keys. So employee underscore ID is the given list and we passed it to this dictionary method from keys, and this will assign each element of the list employee ID as a key within the dictionary D, and then it will associate a none value to each key. So let's execute this, and there we go. This is exactly the output that we needed. So this is the best way of solving this question. Now, if you want, you can also go ahead and specify the second parameter as none, which will once again generate the similar output. So there we go. We once again got the similar output. So this is how you can use the from keys method to solve this question. Now, there are other ways of initializing a dictionary with keys from a given list. So let's have a look at those approaches as well. So let's say that this is the given list and each element in this list is going to be the key in the dictionary. And the method that we will be using to initialize the dictionary now is to use a dictionary comprehension. Now, if you do not know what is a dictionary comprehension, then please feel free to have a look at the blog itself. There you'll find a quick recap to dictionary comprehensions along with a video tutorial which explains how dictionary comprehensions work. For now, let us focus on how we can use a dictionary comprehension to initialize a dictionary only with keys. So a dictionary comprehension consists of two parts. One is the expression and the other is the context. So let's say that the resultant dictionary is going to be record. And now within record, we are going to store the keys with the help of this dictionary comprehension. So as I mentioned that this will consist of an expression and a context. So let us first have a look at the context. So the context will consist of a context variable. Let's say that the context variable is key such that key will represent each item present within this list employee ID. So to do that, we have to use key in emp underscore ID. There should be for key in emp underscore ID. So we are simply iterating across all the elements in the given list in the context part. And those elements are being stored one by one within this context variable key. Now comes the expression wherein we will return the context variable key and then associate each key to the value none. So this essentially means that we are associating each key with the value none in this dictionary record with the help of this dictionary comprehension. Now let's simply go ahead and print record. Okay, now let's execute this code to find out the output. So we have the exact output that we wanted. So this is how you can use a dictionary comprehension to initialize a dictionary with keys. That was quite simple, wasn't that? Now let's have a look at another approach that will help us to solve this question. And in this approach, we are going to use the zip method. Now, zip is an inbuilt function in Python that takes an arbitrary number of iterables and aggregates them to a single iterable, that is a zip object. So it basically combines the ith values of each iterable into a tuple. So let's say that we have two iterables or two lists. Let's say that these lists consist of the values 1, 2, and 3. So this is the first iterable. And let's say that the second iterable is 10, 20, and 30. So when we apply the zip method on both these iterables, so that means when we pass both these iterables to the zip method, then it generates an output which looks something like this. So this will be a tuple that consists of the following values in pairs. So the value at the index 0 in the first iterable is 1, and the value at the index 0 in the second iterable is 10. So they will be paired and stored as the first pair in the zip object. Then the second pair is going to be 2 and 20. Similarly, the third pair is going to be 3 and 30. So we are going to use this property of the zip method to solve our question. So let's say that our resultant dictionary is going to be record within which we are going to store the elements of this list employee ID as keys. Now we will be using the zip method, and within this we will be passing two iterables. The first iterable is going to be employee underscore ID, and the second iterable is going to consist of a list that has none values stored within it. So this basically means that we need to map or we need to pair each element of this list emp underscore ID to a none value. So if 10946 is the key, then the value associated to it will be none. So that is why we need another iterable. And to create that iterable, we simply need create a list none and then expand it until the length of the given list emp underscore id. So this is going to be len emp underscore id. Now let's visualize this. This emp underscore id is already known. It stores these values, and now this piece of code or this parameter stores these values, which is none. Then again it will store none, and it will also store none. And we are telling Python that it has to store three elements within the second iterable or within the second list. And we are doing that with the help of the len method. We are simply applying the len method upon this given list, emp underscore id, and expanding this list, which consists of the element none. So now this entire iterable or this entire list will have three elements, and all those three elements will have the value none. Now this is a zip object. We need to convert it into a dictionary. So as soon as we do that, then each pair will work as a key and a value. So let's go ahead and convert the zip object to dictionary with the help of the dictionary constructor. Now let's simply go ahead and let's print record. So that's it. We are done. Let's execute this and let's find out if this works or not. And there we go. We have the output that we wanted. So this is how you can use the zip method and then convert the zip object into a dictionary using the dict constructor and then display the output the way you want. With that, we come to the end of this video. I hope this helped you. If you have any doubts, please mention them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer all your queries. Thank you.